everyone. Thanks for coming back. Really appreciate it. I truly do. And I hope I have something that I can impart wisdom with you today. I'm going to start it off on this side and hopefully just run it right through. We do a 2024 challenge. It's called Challenge Yourself. And I'm challenging myself to pulling 2,000 pounds out of my daily life and putting it back into my soil. Now we still put out our trash. We still put out our some of our recycling. We do a lot of metal recycling. We both are soda drinkers. Rick drinks beer, I drink wine, so those bottles, all that sort of thing, I can't put that back into my soil. I'm talking the basics. All of our fruit and vegetable peels, either we have them and I dehydrate them, our coffee grounds, our coffee filters. I'm doing a little fun project, and these are our fruit and vegetable peels that I put into little muffin tins that look like Minnie Mouse. And whether you're doing things like that, make life fun. And so it's just how can you make your challenge part of your daily life? Make it easy. Get other people involved. Let's be honest, we were always enthused when we had a teacher who was just so excited about what they were doing. And I'm very excited about this. I think it's a wave that if we could all get behind it and give a little push, it would be a big wave. So all the different things that I'm using, all the different things that I'm doing, I want to share with you, whether it's our Peggy, what are you saving? Oh gee, I throw my stuff in the recycling. Good, wonderful, good start. But if you can figure out how to save it and throw it back into your own world, rather than giving it off to someone else who, hopefully is actually putting it where it's meant to be. So whether you have your boxes that you are discarding, I've told you many times about the bag that comes in that box has been sealed, and it's meant to be sealed so that it keeps something fresh. So if you have things that you want to keep fresh, you can reuse that bag, even if it's just a temporary thing. Like I use them in my freezer. Instead of putting anything that would smell in my garbage, I put it in that bag and put a little clip on the top, and I keep it in the freezer. And then our trash goes out on Tuesday mornings, and when Rick is going through and he takes the bag out of our pantry, kitchen, closet, a cupboard, whatever, he puts that in there. Our garbage never smells. I mean, it might once it gets to the landfill, although for the most part, most of the things that we have, like fruits and vegetables, what have you, go back into the soil. So that's my story. So I just wanted to go over a few things with you. We save our coffee filters, tea bags, our coffee. Coffee, once it's been boiled, is now neutral. It's what is that, 7 is on the pH scale. So you can take this and just put it right outside. You can sprinkle it over the tops of your plants. It's supposedly going to keep down the bugs and what have you. I like using my filters. I use them at the base of a pot. I oftentimes, if I have a lot of them, of course I keep worms, so my worms will eat these, but if I have lots of them, I will use it to line a hole that I'm digging and putting my little starts in. All good. I save my labels on my cans. I also save the juices that come out of those cans, They have a little bit of sugar in them, and your plants would like it. The bacteria that's in the soil that's feeding those plants, that would really like it. I don't know if you can even see that, but the other container is a little cloudy, and it's when we have rice. We rinse our rice, and that acts as a great fertilizer. It has vitamin B in it. You could drink that yourself. Anyway, you eat the rice, why not? I wanted to show you a few things that I thought, just to renew interest in this. Amazon is trying to cut down on the amount of boxes that they use. I mean, they used to get a box like this for a mascara or something, and you're thinking, oh, we're gonna bury the world in cardboard, and we might. Anyway, so they've been trying to do the bags. Well, the bags are great because they are totally biodegradable, but they come with this little padding things in between. I think it's not only to help cushion, but if it were to get wet, they kind of absorb. They're wonderful for your worms. They're wonderful for your compost. However, they really aren't good for your paper shredder. They would really clog up those things. So anyway, take that as an interest. Just rip them up, put them in with your worms. If you're doing anything, I got a prescription. Prescriptions always come with their little papers and what have you. Recycle, chipper shred. The paper shredder. Any of the papers you get, if you go out for dinner or you're getting a fast food snack, any of this. The boxes that you do get from Amazon, be conscious of the fact that the tapes that they use have not only stickum on it, which the worms would like. The worms love stickum, but the worms, they like the glue. It's a sugar, but it has string in it, and a string doesn't really break down all that well. Our friend Sandra Burrell over at Nana's Worms and Garden, she has a great channel, and she did this great experiment on the worms, taking in all this string, and did they use it? And no, they didn't. But anyway, if you would, before you use your boxes, take that off. Of course, hang on to your little identification thing until you decide if it's the right one or not. These are from a 6-pack of beer, and I just wanted to share this with you. It has really nothing to do with recycling. Well, it does. My sister uses it. When they would come to visit, she would always say, save one of these for me. And I did. And sometimes, 6-pack is, the bottles are chunkier, sometimes they're skinnier bottles. And she used them when they would go anywhere on the road. And I think she just, would like take maybe a piece of masking tape or duct tape or whatever, and just go around it to reinforce it. Now, if you have water bottles that you want to keep cold, or you want to keep available when you're drinking your ice water or your soda or your whatever, and you want to replace it, then you've got it right here. But in her case, she would do things like, she'd have one for her knitting. And if you ever have a skein of yarn, the long skeins of yarn, I think Karen is one of the companies, I can't think of any others, she would tuck it down in there, and it would tuck in tight enough that she could do her knitting or crocheting, and it would just hold it in place. I thought, what a great idea. But she also would have one for snacks. Like, her husband does all the driving. Well, if she needed little candy snacks, and she'd put them in her little snack bags, and she'd have those in there, pull out a few crackers, what have you, take a few, and then tuck them back in, and it all stayed nice and neat in the car. He's a neatnik, doesn't want crumbs anywhere. So this was better than reaching back in a bag and trying to, filter around in the back of the car. It was just right there for her. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you because I thought it was a neat idea. So jumping right along. Any of the things that any other ideas? I have a recipe for corn casserole. It is the most delicious recipe, and it's a can of cream corn, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of sour cream, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of corn muffin mix. Did I say 1 egg? Yeah, I did. Anyway, it's one. I usually add just a little bit more just to make it a little thicker. But boy, this is 8 ounces. That's basically 17 tablespoons. I keep one of these a long time. So towards the end, I start using it a little bit more loosely. But at the bottom of it, if I've had it for a year, I'm going to give it to somebody like the worms, because the leavening agent only lasts so long. So even though it might still thicken it, you really have to give up the ghost. So if you have that situation where you're only using, a teaspoon or a tablespoon or whatever, and somewhere down the line you kind of go, I like being frugal, but this isn't working anymore. And if you've ever baked a cake where the leavening agent was old and it didn't come out, it tastes terrible. Trust me, I've had it happen. We eat grits occasionally, so we buy them this way. And that actually works pretty well. But if you don't, and you buy grits or anything, cornmeal, and it's kind of gets that smell to it that you think, I don't think I should put that, give it to your worms. If you don't have worms, give it to your compost. If you don't have compost, dig a trench, put it in that. Okay, enough said. Last week, excuse me, last week we went over the 1100 mark. Went to 1125, and where am I? I'm July, no, wait. August, oh, here we are, we're in August. I didn't mark it in that section yet, but this is week 32, so we got 20 weeks left in the year. We're aiming for 2,000. Whether we're going to make it or not, I don't know. It might be close. This week, Brian brought down his grass at the last minute. So he put us over with 39 pounds. So we ended up having 55 pounds, 8.8 ounces, and brought our total up to 1,181. So 1,181, 5.9 ounces. So we still have 818 and what is that, 10.1, if you want to be specific. Anyway, we still have a long way to go, folks. So I'm not asking anybody to guess where we are quite yet. But it was a good week. It was more than our 40, we got 55, so that was all good. I think that's it. My goodness, I think if you can see the clock, it's only 5:45. I've been up since 3 o'clock. I've had my dose mushroom coffee. It does have coffee extract in it, but not enough to keep me pumping and going. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. We're in August, and for us here in Florida, it is a bugger to get out there and try and do any yard work in this heat. Now very shortly I'll put my shoes on and pull my hair up, powder myself, and go out for a half-hour walk. It's already 80 degrees. My phone says 80 degrees, feels like 88. The humidity was 97% when I woke up at 3 o'clock. And then after that, I will come home have another cup of coffee, maybe do something, and then I go up for a half-hour swim at our pool, which has been really, really helpful. If there's anybody out there, if you're having pains in your Achilles, like my problems, I have arthritis in my back, just walking in the pool, doing PT exercises, just doing stretching exercises in a pool is really, really, really beneficial. I think even more so than walking, because when you're walking, you have your full weight, whereas when you're swimming, you're uh, bouncy. Your weight is not. You're still pushing those tendons and muscles, but it isn't with the full weight. So anyway, that's off the subject. Garden what you've got. I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday, and I hope you'll come back and see me next Sunday. Remember, garden what you've got, and take care of each other. Bye bye.